And we felt that that would set it off against every other business institution, because all other business institutions see themselves as material. With that in mind, we decided to launch, and we did launch the Academy in 1986. Now, the Academy has had three operational divisions, if you will. Number one, being a think tank and publishing. So we've published dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of articles and dozens of books on numerous subjects. I myself have published 4 that I've written, and at least maybe 30 articles, maybe more than that, 30 articles plus a daily newspaper column for the last couple of years. So we publish a tremendous amount of information as a think tank, and we're proud of our history as a think tank, and we will continue to be a think tank indefinitely. The second part of our charter, as it were, was to be available to particularly nonprofits, but individuals as well, who were willing to step forward and use their skills to do something good for society, but they didn't possess our ability to actually promote a level of conversation or a level of sophistication in how they executed their mission, and they needed us to help them do that for free. So business consulting for social benefit, if you want to call it that. And I'll come back to that in a minute because it relates to the comment you made about Just Capital. The third part of our charter was when we saw something that was so dramatically bad for society that we had to activate, then we would take on the responsibility to stop what we saw was something bad happening in society. And that's why we did get so involved in bringing an end to the San Onofre nuclear power plant, why we fought for years to close it and successfully did so, and why we fought to close the one in Diablo Canyon successfully so far, it appears, and why we also from time to time have engaged in other projects that had specific goals. Like we wanted to get people used to the idea of solar on the roof. So for free, we would basically help people solarize. And we put millions of dollars of solar power on houses in our Santa Barbara County until the local environmental group CEC took that on, and now a second group, a Clean Coalition, has taken on. So once somebody takes on something, we pull back because we don't need to keep doing something just because we did it first. Our job is to basically be a catalyst. So let me return for a moment to the second charter, part of the charter. We have historically offered our services to nonprofits continually over the years. I'm proud of the fact that we were the founding organization for the National Peace Academy, which is now housed and giving graduate degrees and undergraduate degrees at George Mason University in Virginia. I'm proud of the 5 years I spent as the founding chairman building Unstoppable Foundation and spinning it into its own nonprofit, which today has helped probably 500,000 people in Africa. I'm proud of the work we did with Just Capital, which is the reference you made, because Just Capital was one of our main missions. It was mission 3, if you will. And Just Capital was the opportunity to create something, which we did when I was wearing 2 hats. I was chairman of the executive committee of the board for my friend Deepak Chopra, who's been a fellow of the Academy for almost 30 years now. And then at the same time, I was, of course, CEO, president of the Academy. So Chopra Foundation and the Academy, we came up with a thing called Just Capital. How to do what we did was sort of what I did. Deepak figured out how to label it. And then Deepak subsequently introduced me to some serious people in New York who were interested in knowing how to get it done. That would have been Paul Tudor Jones. It took a couple of years to organize it, to get it its own nonprofit status, to get Paul Jones comfortable with what he would do and what it would do. And today, it's 10 years later. It's an incredibly successful nonprofit. I hope you'll ask me questions about it, because what it does is it ranks the 1,000 largest companies in America, public companies, by how well they're doing at being just, J-U-S-T, all in caps. And how we determine what just behavior is we've now done over 150,000 separate interviews of people around America who tell us what they think just corporate behavior would look like. And we will continue doing at least 20,000 new interviews every year just to keep our data fresh. And for one other reason, the public is shifting. It's moving in positive directions in terms of what it is expecting of corporate just behavior. And that, of course, makes us very happy. In turn, the business community is acting more and more just every day because it's now understanding it's in its economic interest to do so.